Hello and welcome to another episode of the Winning with Shopify podcast. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome. My name's Nick. I've been hosting the show for a few years now. And if you're tuning in and it's not your first time, you're like, it's Nick again. Alrighty. So this is Tea Break Talks on a Tuesday. Very different to our Friday episodes. And we've only been launched these a few months ago. We're going to have a little chat about some of the Shopify news. And you've probably seen in the title, I'm going to lift the lid on how you can get your site listed more in AI. You've probably heard of AI. Everyone's talking about it at the moment. But the point being is, you can get found by customers in AI when they're looking up for different problems, different solutions, products, etc. We're going to get into all of that. So stay tuned for the end, because instead of a quivia today, I'm going to give you 20 things you should be doing on AI. We've got another tea. This one is, I've forgotten the name. I didn't write it down this week. It's a Satcher, I think it is. So thank you, Lorna. I keep saying the Bean Shop because they're called the Bean Shop, but Lorna, you corrected me on email, so thank you very much. Called the Tea Shop, but sold on the Bean Shop. So we're going to pour a nice little cup of tea. It is loose leaf. If you're watching online, you can see, well, you're all online, obviously. If you're watching rather than listening, you can pour a nice little cup of tea in there. This one's called Satcher, which smells delicious. It's a bit more, herby. Oh, it's very nice. A bit more, there's still like a fruity element to it. I don't actually know what's in half these teas. I trust Lorna enough, and they're all delicious. So I'll drink whatever turns up. But this, yeah, it's nice. And again, brewed to 70 degrees, lifted to cool down for a few minutes. Oh, it's good. Probably slightly on the hotter end, but nearly there. Anyway, you don't need to know about that at all. Let's get into today's content then. Today, I've got several tabs. I sometimes use my iPad. I'm on my phone today, which is probably the worst day to be on my phone rather than the iPad. I quite simply haven't charged it. But today, we're going to be looking at a few things. The first one is, instead of quote of the week, I'm going to read out, based on a YouGov poll, the top 10 brands in the UK. Some of them are international brands as well, so you'll recognize these in the US or wherever else you guys are listening. Most of you guys are in the US, and then the UK is the second biggest market, probably because of my posh little British accent. And then after that, it's complete mix across the rest of the world, mostly English-speaking countries, obviously, because I speak English. But yeah, there's a lot of you guys in the US. But we're going to talk about this today. So this is on a recent YouGov poll. This is Q3 2025. And this is the popularity of brands. And I'm going to go from 10 down to 1. And I'll explain what some of these brands are, because I don't know if you guys have them all in your countries or not. And one of them features twice, which is quite amazing. So in at number 10 then is B&M. It's a discount shop. You can buy cleaning stuff or whatever. Loads and loads of different products there. Cleaning stuff, bits of food, garden wear. It's all a bit different range of things, but basically a homeware store that also sells kind of cleaning products and bits of food and other stuff. So it's B&M in at number 10. Number 9 is Specsavers. They sell glasses and contact lenses and do eye tests and stuff, which, saying that, I'm squinting away with my glasses right in front of me, so we'll put the glasses back on. So 10's B&M, 9 is Specsavers, 8. I was slightly surprised by this. I didn't realize these guys were that big. The Range, and this isn't size, this is popularity. Now, in at number 8, and this has gone up in popularity recently as well, people voted The Range, which again is it's very, very similar to B&M, maybe a tiny bit more expensive, but still down at the discount end of the market here. Number 7 is Currys. They sell everything from washing machines to computers, lots and lots of appliances and hardware sold at Currys. Number 6, love this. You'll all recognize this. The Lego store. Who doesn't love Lego? I can't wait till my little baby's old enough to play Lego. But the Lego store is in at number 6. Number 5, this one really, really threw me. Domestos. They make bleach and a few cleaning products. Apologies, Domestos, if I've got that wrong, but I only know you for things like bleach. So they're in at number 5. Complete game change from bleach. Number 4 is Holland and Barrett. They sell health supplements and generally just healthy stuff. You can buy oats from them. You can buy, health supplements. You can buy diet pills and all sorts of other stuff from Holland and Barrett, which is cool. Number 3, this one's again in keeping with some of the other ones, Home Bargains. You can tell what's happening with the UK economy right now, that we've got B&M, The Range, Home Bargains all in here. Number 2, I don't know if you have these guys in America, actually, is Argos. You probably don't. Argos literally sell everything from toys to, again, all your white goods stuff. They sell lots of decor. They're part of a group with a supermarket called Sainsbury's and loads of other places here in the UK. And then this one, so Argos had a 70% of people gave them a vote saying, yeah, I like Argos, they're popular. And then it goes from 70% in second position to 84% of people liked this one. And we've already had them on the list as well, which is bizarre. So we had the Lego store at 6, but Lego is in at number 1 with 84% popularity, 70% number 2 for Argos. So that list again is B&M, Specsavers, 8 is the Range, 7 is Currys, 6 is the Lego Store, 5 is Domestos, 4 is Holland and Barrett, 3 is Home Bargains, number 2 is Argos, and number 1 is Lego. There we go, bit more fun than quote of the week, but interesting to see how brands are increasing in popularity. And also, we've got what we're calling cost of living crisis here in the UK. Basically, taxes are really high, inflation's really high, no one can afford anything. And it's actually quite scary and quite depressing when you look at it. And actually, I think you see that top 10 list has changed. I've never read it out on the podcast before, but having looked at one from 2 or 3 years ago, you can see it has adjusted quite a bit, actually, in favor of more of those discount brands. Shopify news. There's some big changes going on. I've only pulled 4 of them off. These are the 4 big ones. There are loads of other smaller ones, but the 4 big ones this week. ApplePay is now available within ShopPay. So you don't have to use your credit card in ShopPay or debit card or whatever. You can use Apple Pay within ShopPay, which just sounds like we've got so many payment gateways all trying to work together there. But that is now available. If you use Shopify's mobile app, the next 2 are for you. If you don't, you should start using it, and these 2 are then for you. Enhanced AI image generation and editing on Shopify's mobile app now, which is quite cool. So that's both image generation and you could put also the editing. So if you take a picture of a product on your phone using the app, for example, you can then enhance it using AI within the app, which is quite cool. Sidekick voice now available in Shopify's mobile app. It didn't actually say these in the notes. I'm assuming obviously know what Sidekick is Shopify's AI assistant, the kind of ChatGPT built into Shopify. But Sidekick voice, I assume you can have a conversation with it rather than just having a text message kind of chat with it, which is quite cool. Amazing. Merchants, and this is the last one, merchants are now responsible for tax filing on Facebook and Instagram, obviously through Meta. All Meta orders no longer act as a Meta no longer acts as a marketplace facilitator. Very, very interesting. So, yeah. All good stuff. Anyway, partner news. So in the partner world, the only one I'm going to flag this week, which I picked this up on your website, guys, at Yoast, there is a last-minute Black Friday SEO prepping for e-commerce stores guide. There'll be a link in the description below. I should have said we're also going to link to that top 10 UK brands based on YouGov. YouGov's a government-run, basically voting poll system. They have loads of different topics. You just go and vote on stuff, and you get paid a tiny bit of money for voting as well. Thank you for your time. But we'll put a link to the YouGov poll in there for the top brands. We'll also put a link to this in the description for the Yoast last-minute Black Friday SEO prepping for e-commerce stores guide. If you're still scratching your head a bit going like, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything for Black Friday, go check that out. Black Friday, when this goes out, it'll be about a week and a half until go live. Dun, dun, dun. How exciting. News from the agency, and then we're going to get onto our 20 things how to get more visible in AI chat results or AI agents. I don't really know what to call them yet, but we'll come on to that. So there's a few in the PPC team. We've got one about AI as well. So PPC, on one of our clients, we've updated some images in some of the asset groups because they haven't been changed in a long time. And actually there is and the point being here is there's a thing called creative fatigue. So we've changed the images within an asset group on Performance Max, and the CTR overnight has increased. What you'll find, depending on the more niche you get, the more often the same people are going to see your ads. So the more niche you are with a small market, or even if you're getting 100% kind of impression share in the market you're trying to penetrate with your Performance Max campaign, i.e. you can't spend anymore or you're close to the top spend you can do, people are going to see your ads really, really frequently. So there's a thing called creative fatigue. We talk about it a bit more in social than we do in paid ads or paid media. Sorry, it's still paid ads on social, but paid media through search engines. But certainly, yeah, that fatigue is there, and the CTR has gone up quite significantly on that particular client. Second one is, and it's probably too late to do this now. I mean, maybe not, but it might be too late for you guys. But certainly for next year, running an advent calendar of your products. So even your products cost $50, $100 per product. Why not do the 12 days of Christmas, or if you can, all 25 days of December? Advent calendar, little gift every day when somebody opens the door. We did one of those for one of our clients, and they sold out by the 3rd of November. So nice and quick. And finally, on AI, ChatGPT ads is coming soon. It's predicted. I couldn't find an official statement from ChatGPT or OpenAI or anyone, but it's predicted 2026, which kind of makes sense, but apparently it's going to be quite early in 2026. Obviously, it's inevitable. They're going to put ads on it. Otherwise, the free version is just free all the time. We're going to get on this as fast as possible. So watch this space. We're also, the guys in the agency team here, as soon as the ads are launched, we've got a few clients lined up that already want to spend money on it. So we're going to spend money on it very, very quickly and see what impact it starts to have. Without further ado, let's get into this then. So 20 things you need to do. I'm not going to list these below just because I think if we just list them in writing, people are going to get confused about them. I'd rather explain them while we're going through. So number one, there is a thing there's 2 names for this, like everything. The official name for it is Schema, schema.org. So that's schema.org. Schema markup, it's called. So on the Schema website, you can mark things up saying in the code, like this is the beginning of a question as part of an FAQ, and this is the end of the question. So the question is now finished, and you put the text of the question in there. Here's the answer. There's loads of different types of schema, a few specific ones we've been focusing on for AI in particular: product schema, offer schema, review schema, organizational schema, breadcrumb list schema, FAQ page schema. If I was to highlight one of those, it'd probably be the FAQ schema if you're going to do one and one only. But of course, I'd recommend do all of them. FAQ is really important because people ask the AI bots, they ask ChatGPT and Gemini, hey, what do I do with this? How does this work? It's mostly question led, which is quite exciting. Number 2, enable the automatic item ID in product schema. You can do this in Shopify automatically. So you need to enable the automatic item ID in product schema. And use the item ID. You'll see it in the code, squiggly brackets, and it's product.id. Or use the GTIN or the SKU for the product ID, so that AI crawlers can uniquely identify products across the web. So they can see if you've got a unique product here, it's the same product as everybody else. And there's benefits in either of those two things. Number 3, add AI-friendly product FAQs. I mentioned schema. So schema is marking up the FAQ. So when a crawler comes to your site, it clearly says, here's the question, here's the answer. But this is about making them AI-friendly. Use real customer Q&A, per product page. So if you're allowed to as well, even mention the customer, saying like, here's the question. And when it comes to the answer, say this question was asked by Janet Watkins or whatever. And then here's the rest of the answer underneath. And then again, using FAQ schema, and put the answers in as much natural language as possible. Number 4, write long form, original product descriptions. I've been, a lot of this stuff, I should have said this at the start, a lot of these things, and this one really applies to this, is if you're doing normal marketing really, really well, and you're doing SEO really, really well, the AI bit should be very, very quick and easy. So this one about writing long form original product descriptions, if you're doing your SEO very thoroughly and you've got the budgets to do it across the whole site and do it in lots of detail, then you should already have those long form, original unique product descriptions. 300 to 800 words seems to be a sweet spot, but it depends on the product. It's quite a complicated product. You're going to want a lot more than that. It's quite a simple product to understand. You don't necessarily have to stretch to 300 for the sake of it, but there should be things the customer wants to know, like warranties and questions and answers and specifications, dimensions, delivery times. Like there's loads you can put into either product description or just content on that page. Images, make sure you use alt text in your images and make sure it's keyword rich and descriptive. We're doing this for probably, I've been working in this industry for 18 years. I've probably been doing it for nearly 18 years on images anyway, but make sure you've got that. This one's new though, number 6. Create a /blogs/AI. So create a blog in your site called AI. So /blogs/AI is the URL you need. Publish 1,500 plus word guides optimized for AI queries. So you want to find out things like, here's an example, best eco-friendly yoga mats for hot yoga in 2025. And people on AI use much longer queries than they use on Google. On Google, they might just search yoga mats and want to see a big list and start filtering them. Whereas on AI, they would actually start to say, what's the best eco-friendly yoga mat? They might put the material in, delivery to UK. I certainly find that as someone who's living in the UK, when I ask AI bots questions, they tend to come back with American results first, unless I specify I want a UK store, UK location. And sometimes the really annoying one is like, we have a Boston here in the UK and there's a Boston in the US. You have New York, we have just York. So little things like that, it might suddenly defer to the wrong one. But you want to use conversational titles. That's the key. This one's really cool. Add speakable schema for voice AI. Mark up key sections of blog posts with speakable CSS selectors. So Google Assistant, Gemini, etc. can read answers aloud. So it's called speakable schema. Again, it's a bit of code. It's part of schema, but you want speakable schema. And that's for when people are using the AI bots verbally, which is quite important. A quick sip of tea. Number 8, first thing we do on a site if it doesn't have this already. If I find one of my clients doesn't have this, I shout at my team. No, I don't. We just make sure we fix it as fast as possible. This is on every single client. Make sure you submit your sitemap.xml. It's a file automatically created on Shopify. Submit your sitemap XML file to Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster Tools. That's for the Google AI. And Bing and ChatGPT are very closely interlinked. So we'll come on to that in a bit later. Also, sorry, just on that, ensure that you're using the Shopify auto-generated and updated one as well. Include image::image and video::video tags in the XML sitemap. A lot of this stuff you're probably gonna have questions about. Google it or send me an email. hello@winningwithshopify.com. Number 10, add data no snippet strategically. So that's data hyphen no snippet, all one word, and use it strategically. Prevent AI from pulling pricing and discounts out of context. So there might be certain things you actually tag on a page to say to the AI, this offer down here relates to a different set of products. Like, these are the recommended products now. So don't take this into account with this product. So actually don't take any of these snippets, but do go and look at the main part of the product. Use canonical tags religiously. Prevent duplicate content issues. So canonical tag basically says to Google that it's basically a URL in the code, and on a page that you want Google to rank, it will point to itself. So it might be /products/T-shirt. And then the canonical will read exactly the same, which is saying to Google, I'm the most important one to take into account here. When you get to page 2 of a search list of search results, or page 3, page 4 onwards, when you change the color of a product, if the color is the only thing that changes in the title, the rest of the page is exactly the same, you might actually want to canonicalize it back to the first one. There's so many ifs and buts about this. It depends on your site. But if you're not using canonical tags already, they're not already in your Shopify theme, you're not had your developer even look at them, you absolutely need them. And you'll probably find if you fix canonical tagging so that Google only has one version of each page and one version only to index, and the rest will point back to it. The way Shopify works, you will have multiple versions of each page, whether it's a product collection, blog post, whatever. If you fix that, you'll probably see an uplift in rankings on SEO anyway, let alone the fact that the AI crawlers will go, oh, this site's nice and organized. If I'm looking for information on this product, that's the page I go to. It's always that URL. Again, classic part of SEO for number 12 here. Optimize page speed. 2 seconds load time is the target. I get so many clients, emails from people saying Shopify's slow, we can't use it, or we've just given in to the fact it's not going to run quickly. We have stores running well into the 90s out of 100 on mobile for Shopify page speed. The problem is people don't know how to develop apps, and people don't know how to develop the theme well with the app. It's not easy, and sometimes it's not cheap to achieve that, but there are ways you can improve it. So 2 seconds is the target. Probably 99.9% Shopify stores are slower than that. So if you can get yours faster, massive opportunity to get picked up by AI here. Number 13, href lang tags. So this is a bit like, I'm trying to explain this very quickly because these are supposed to be short episodes. It's a bit like the canonical tag. There'll be a version pointing at itself in what's called a href lang tag. There'll be a URL in the code that points at itself, but it will have a language and location code. So in the UK, it will say EN-GB and then a link to the British or UK English-speaking version of that page. You can mix and match. So you could have DE-GB, which is German language in Great Britain. You could have, there's one for the US, which is US, but it'll be EN US because it'll be English in the US. But you also, in the US, we very commonly do ES US. So we have España, so Spanish in the US, because it's second most popular language, thanks to the lovely people from Mexico and lots of other people that have migrated to the US. So yeah, those href lang tags are super important so that the AI bots know I've got to use it. And this is where people are not doing this on their site. And I mentioned earlier, I get lots of US things coming back to me because AI seems to be indexing in the US a lot more than the UK at the moment, because that's where the AI bots kind of initially started learning, was in the US. ChatGPT, I don't think it was even available in the UK until months after it was available in the US. Number 14, create a page under pages. So the URL should go /pages and then the name of your page, which should be AI-answers space hub. Sorry, not space, just /AI-answers. So the URL, again, I'll read that out again. So it's /pages/AI-answers, and curate 50 plus common customer questions with short, direct answers. Things like, do you ship to Australia? And just put yes via DHL in 5 to 7 days is the example I've written here as well. So you want this AI answers page to answer things really, really quickly. This is where you need an integrated business. You need your customer service team and whoever's answering the live chat on the site and dealing with customer queries. You need them to feed every single question that ever gets asked of customers back to the marketing team so they can put that information on the site. That's how you're going to get listed in the AI bots. Because if people can't find your site, they will go and ask AI now and say, does this company do returns to Canada? And they're going to ask that as a question. Number 15, quick sip of tea. That's not the action. If you're listening to this, not watching it, I'm just drinking tea. So number 15, use Open Graph and Twitter cards with rich media. These things have been around for like a decade now, maybe probably longer. You basically, when you share something on Facebook or you share something on LinkedIn, you get the little preview. It's got a title, normally an image, and it's got a little description and then the URL. The Open Graph and Twitter cards, and obviously for Twitter, X, formerly known as, they always say X, formerly known as Twitter. I just keep calling it Twitter. Now the name's longer when you try to shorten it. So it's not right. But anyway, we'll do a separate episode about X at some point. Because, yeah, it's my X. I don't use it anymore. So Open Graph and Twitter cards, there's a lot of apps you can use to plug these things in. But again, they'll probably ruin your page speed. So you probably want to code it manually. But there's one for the image, one for the title, one for the description. And you just have a few lines of code, normally alongside your metadata and that kind of thing. Number 16, enable user-generated content. So many sites I see have literally just written in black and white text on the page, Joe says we're a fantastic brand and I'd buy again. 5 stars. It's not verified. Google does not take any of that as credibility or credible. So what you need to do is you need to have a third party, someone like Trustpilot, Yotpo, Judge Me, Seguno do product reviews. There's a whole range of different review platforms. Get a review platform. They range in price, but get one because then people are leaving you a review on an independent platform and website that then links back into your website and you can feature it within the website. It then carries credibility. You also get this other beautiful site that its one job is to validate credible good and bad news about businesses, i.e. the customer reviews, and link back to you. Trustpilot.com is one of the most trusted domains in the entire world. So having that linking back to you is obviously massive for SEO. It's one of the most trusted. AI models scrape review content, both the sentiment and the images. So even if you pay a bit more to have the ability for custom upload images, those things are super, super important. You need that set up if you're going to be successful. Otherwise, you could have all the best content in the world, but you've got no credibility. So the AI crawlers go, this all looks great, but I can't trust them because I have no reason to trust them. So I'm going to recommend somebody else, even if they've only got 10 reviews and you claim to have 50,000, but you've not connected it up properly, put it in the code and using a third-party validated service like that. It is worth the money, in my opinion. Every single one of our clients either got one or we've spoken about getting one, and there's somewhere in the revenue growth plan to say, right now we can afford the reviews. Let's get them. Number 17, add item list element schema to collection pages. That helps the AI understand the product hierarchy. For example, you could go from all products into clothing, into men's, into hoodies. And so by using, it's called item list element, no spaces, in schema. I mentioned, at point 17, for everyone who's still listening, you have a bit more value here. I said at the start, there's 2 names for this, and I then read schema. I didn't tell you the other name. Google has taken a load of, not taken, but adopted is the word. It's adopted loads of different bits of schema, but only some of them. And when we do SEO, it's the sum of them that we're really optimizing after. We might still use ones that Google's not got on its list, but it's called Google Structured Data. So you want Google Structured Data in there. Sorry, this is what download. I'm sorry. Just in the middle of the show, I'm just going to say I just got a message from another agency owner who is coming to some beers I'm organising in a few weeks for agency owners. And someone just replied saying, "Thanks for inviting me. I don't have many friends." Sorry, I just thought it was brilliant. Sorry. Anyway, back on track. But yeah, so it's called structured data. So it's point 17 about the item list element. That I don't know if actually listed in Google structured data, but this is where some of the AI crawlers use bits of schema that Google doesn't. So now we need to go beyond just that list of Google. But if you go on Google and search up, or Bing, you can search up on. If you go and search for Google structured data, there is a set of pages on their website with a little sub menu down the left, and you can choose let's have a look at what an article is, and it tells you all the article schema, gives you examples of what code you need in there. There is also it's called rich snippets. There's a rich snippet checker on Google, so you can put any page in. It tells you what rich snippets it's found, errors, both amber warnings and reds. If there's a red one, I can't show this. Amber is, I can still probably show it, or I might be able to show it, but there's a few things you need to improve on there. Anyway, we carry on. We've got 3 more. Create a robots.txt, which should be on Shopify already, but make sure it allows access to the AI crawlers. So a robots.txt, when Google comes in for SEO, because remember, AI is like an extension of what Google's already doing. When Google comes in to a site, the first thing it looks at is it goes to that site.com/robots.txt. Has to be in exactly that URL. If you go and look at your site right now and go forward, especially if it's Shopify store, /yoursite.com/robots. So plural, robots.txt, and have a look at that file, you'll see there's a list of things that are allowed and a list of things that are not. And these are folders. The old days of making websites was folders, but they're still called folders now. So where it's got a /, it says to Google, anything that's mywebsite.com /collections /, go and look at anything that starts with that URL thread. You can also block Google from looking at stuff. You can block SEO tools. You can block other crawlers. Some people block search engines from other countries from seeing their site. But there's a bit that you need to include. Sorry, you don't have to, but if you do, you're basically welcoming the GBT bot in. And it is, you want user agent with a hyphen in the middle. So user hyphen agent, GBT bot. And underneath you want allow, and just a single /. If you put allow and a single / in a Roblox tick, see it says to Google, to whatever bot you've listed there, go and have a look at everything. So there's GBT bot and there's also Google hyphen extended. And underneath each of those, that's user hyphen agent GBT bot. And then underneath allow /. You want exactly the same. So you want user hyphen agent and then Google hyphen extended. GBT and B for bot are all in caps. And then the G and the E for Google and extended are also in caps. You want another allow // with a capital A underneath as well. There are loads of examples of this online, so just go and grab one and make sure it's working. If you look in the back end of Shopify, I should know this. I don't actually know. I think you can go and edit it in the back of Shopify. There's definitely ways you can allow the ability to go and edit it. I think if you use our partner Yoast, if you use their app on Shopify, I'm pretty sure you can go and modify it in there. Yoast will probably modify it for you at the moment you install it to basically say to Google and any other crawlers, don't look at all this stuff. Just focus here. Crawlers will get bored. There's a thing called a crawl budget. Once it's exhausted, crawler leaves your site. And if it leaves your site before touching your products, for example, because it's found so many stupid pages and canonicals are running it around, you're going to lose loads of traffic. Cool. These are getting more technical as we get on. So track with me or email me afterwards. Number 19, use descriptive internal linking with anchor text. So what a lot of sites will have is when they have like a little block or a bit of text, the button will just say like read more. The button physically has text on it, and that's what's known as anchor text. Or if you just got a paragraph of text and in the middle there's a couple of words or phrases are actually hyperlinking. It's just called linking now. It shows how old I am. The linking off to other pages. If those links just say like to view more : click here, and you make click here the link, that's not as valuable or as useful for an AI bot or Google than if you said like, click here to view our full clothing range or men's ties. If it's like, ties men are going to wear, so got men's ties and you click on it and it goes into the men's ties page. So I have to pick products at random when I'm doing the show. But yeah, the men's ties page, that will be fantastic. And then it tells the AI bot, if you click through to here, that's what it's going to show you. If you just use read more all the time, it might go, it's read mores all over the place and they all go to different links. Like, I'm just not going to touch those. It might mean that AI bot just doesn't index half your site or more. Like, it's very, very common that happens. We've got a few tools we're using here or testing at the moment. They're all quite new to see how many pages have been indexed by different AI bots. And at the moment, most sites are doing tens of them, certainly not the hundreds of thousands or millions like we are generally on Google for some of our bigger brands. But as an example of anchor text, see the best wireless earbuds under $100. That as a link, that is what people are going to type into an AI agent when they're having a conversation going, I've got a $100 budget and I want the best wireless earbuds. And we're saying ours are the best wireless earbuds. And then we'll prove it to you when you click on that link. That means it knows what's there rather than a read more, click here, view this, view now, whatever. So much better. Or learn more. So boring. So vanilla. So dry. Number 20. We've made it to the end, ladies and gentlemen. Number 20 is monitor the AI-specific traffic in GA4. So you want to monitor how much traffic's coming in from your AI bots. You can see it as a referral source. It will say like GBT. I forget what they're called now. ChatGPT, or it might be grok.com. I use Grok quite a lot, which I don't use X and Twitter, but I do use their chatbot, their AI bot, which is Grok. So yeah, open AI. So I think it's like, isn't it GBT or chat.openai.com or something? I don't know. I have it on a bookmark, but you'll see that as a traffic source in GA4. And then you can obviously see the full journey, bounces, how much revenue's from that. And actually for some of our bigger brands we work with where we've been doing a lot of this FAQ content generation, blog posts, Robots TXT's in line, sitemaps all doing what it should be doing. And we're building some good authority, loads of customer reviews. When we've been ticking all of these boxes for lots of our clients in the past, and been doing that for years, actually they're already doing really, really well on AI, which again goes back to something I said earlier. if you're doing SEO really, really well, you'll probably rank number one on AI anyway. Anyway, it's enough from me. Not going to bore you with any more boring information or rattly tones from me. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe on whatever channel you're on right now. Leave us a review wherever you're listening to this. And please also go onto our website, wwspodcast.com, and sign up to our newsletter. We send out emails twice a week with our new episodes coming out. There's a few bonus bits that go out on those as well. And we're about to launch something massive. And if you want to get involved soon, there's going to be a sign up landing page. We are, and I didn't say this the last few weeks, been holding off on this. I'm waiting for Guinness World Records to reply to me. So hopefully if someone from Guinness World Records is listening, please email me, hello@winningwithshopify.com. We're going to try and break a world record, but I'm not going to say what yet. But I want to be a world record holder. It's on my bucket list. We're going to try and do that as well. So go and sign up to our newsletter on the website, and you'll be first to hear about all of that sort of stuff before I talk about it on the show. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in on Friday again to have me talking to an amazing e-commerce store that we're going to be speaking to, and I hope you can join us then. Any questions? hello@winningwithshopify.com. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.